Hello, Alvin ISD third graders. Today we are going to represent addition and subtraction word problems using number lines. I want you to take a moment and just pause this video, and I want you to think about what do you notice with my equation and my number line. Some things that I notice is in my equation, I see that my operation is subtraction and that my result is unknown. When I look at my number line, I see that my arrow is pointing backwards. And since my arrow is pointing backwards, I know that that represents subtraction. I also notice that my number line, if I look over here at where it is starting, I can see this is 73, 74, 75. So it is starting at 175. This number line is starting at the same spot as my equation. I wonder if I jump backwards, so here I have 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. So this is a jump of 17. So my number line is modeling my equation of starting at 175, taking away or jumping backwards 17, and I landed at, in my equation, a mystery number, but here on my number line, it represents that I'll land at 158. Why don't we look at some problems and see how can I represent these problems using a number line? Miss Ellen has 3 stacks of papers on her desk. The first stack contains 150 sheets. The second stack contains 275 sheets, and the third stack contains 50 sheets. How many sheets of paper does Miss Ellen have on her desk? Well, I know she has 3 stacks of papers, and I can see this first stack has 150 sheets, her second stack has 275, and her third has 50. And when I'm looking at it, I want to see how many sheets of paper. So that means I want to know all of her sheets of paper. So I know I am adding in this problem. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw my number line to help me represent this problem. So I have 2 options when I draw my number line. I can do one giant jump of 150, or since I know she has 150, I can draw my number line to start there representing that first stack. Then she has 275 sheets of paper in the next stack. And then I have one more stack of 50 sheets. And I know that would give me how many sheets of paper she has on her desk all together. I can double check that this number line does represent my problem by seeing here is stack 1 of paper, here is stack 2 of paper, here is stack 3 of paper. So I have all 3 stacks of paper. And I can also double check by seeing that my number line, the arrows are going forward on my number line. So this is a representation of this problem. Let's go see another one. Julia is drawing pictures in a book that has 100 pages. She draws on 40 pages in June. She draws on 30 pages in July. How many pages does Julia have left? So I'm going to go break it down. What do I know on this problem? Well, I know Julia's book has 100 pages. So if I think about my number line, I know she's got 100 pages. And then she draws on 40 of them. So if Julia drew on 40 pages, she can't use that paper anymore. She's used it up. So that to me is telling me I'm going to take those 40 pages away because they're no longer an option. I can see she draws, again, more drawing on 30 pages in July. So now she's used up 30 more pages. I know that is representing subtraction. And I want to figure out how many pages she has left inside her notebook. So if I'm subtracting, I know that I have to go backwards on my number line. So that means I'm going to start here on the right-hand side because I am going to be decreasing my number of pages I have available to draw on. Her book started with 100 pages. So I'm going to start my number line with 100. And in June, I'm going to make my jump backwards. Here is June. June, she drew on 40 pages. So she used 40 pages. And that's where she landed. Then she picked her book back up, and in July, she used, so I know I'm subtracting 30 more pages. And where I land should be how many pages Julia has left to use in her notebook. Another way I could represent this problem is I could represent it with an equation. I could say I have 100 pages and I drew on 40. And then I drew on 30. And that would equal my mystery number. Let's go look at another problem. There were 35 pretzels at a bakery. A baker made 20 more pretzels. The baker then sold 11 pretzels. How many pretzels are at the bakery now? Ooh, let me go break this one down. So I know I've got 35 pretzels at the bakery. The baker made 20 more pretzels. So when I make pretzels, that means I'm increasing because I'm getting more of. So I made, that tells me I'm going to be adding. The baker then sold 11 pretzels. When I sell something, I'm giving that away. So I know that's telling me that I'm subtracting. And I'm looking for how many pretzels are at the bakery now. So I know I'm looking for what do I have left? Well, I want to show it on my number line. So when I'm looking at my number line, I started with 35 pretzels and then I made 20 more. So I know I'm going to be needing to jump forward on my number line. My number is going to increase. So I'm going to start over here at the left with the 35 pretzels. I made 20 more, so I have to jump forward to show my adding 20. And the next thing in my number in my word problem is that I sold 11 pretzels. So if I sell my pretzels and I'm giving those away, I have to represent my subtraction. And I know subtraction makes me go backwards on the number line. And I sold 11 of those pretzels. So how many pretzels are there now? Well, that's where I land on my number line. So today, boys and girls, we just represented addition and subtraction word problems using number lines. Something that's very important to remember is that your number line goes in order of your problem.